So now, as we have discussed in part 1, now we are going to discuss the implication of O-ring model. So one of the most important implication of O-ring model is that if we have quality matching, uh, that is output will be higher if we put together all the quality worker. Means if in a firm all the workers have high quality, then of course the output of that firm will be higher. And in contrast, if all the low quality workers work together, then the output will be the output level of that firm will be lower. So compared with if mix the worker together, and then if there is a match. So now if match mean if there are two high quality worker, mix means if the match mean like two high quality workers and two low quality workers. Means two high quality workers works in a firm, and two low quality workers for works in another firm. So and then there is another scenario, means if there are a mix of two workers, like one is high quality and other is low quality. So this is mix and match. So consider two high quality workers and two low quality workers. So like two QH means two QH square means two high quality workers, and two QL square means two low quality workers. Suppose we have two high quality workers and two low quality workers. If we put the high quality worker together in one form, the output will be we will get is higher. The number of tasks times QH square, then the two low quality workers 2 times QL. So 2Q or you can say 2Q H L 2 Q 2 times QH QL means high quality and low quality, plus 2QH and QL means high quality and low quality. The first example is the first equation is about the match, means where we have two high quality workers and two low quality workers in a different firms. And the second equation is basically mix equation, where we have the two high quality where we have the high quality workers and low quality workers. So this is the basic assumption of mix and match. So suppose there are two workers with high skills, which is known as we have said, which is known as QH, and two low skill, which is denoted as QL. So of course the quality of or output of QL will it would be lower than the quality of high workers. So here we suppose there's two workers are required per firm. So how will these firms are going to be matched up? If HH and LL means if HH means two high quality workers and LL means two low quality workers match together, total output is Y match QH square. Here 2 means QH square plus QL square. If we have 2 HL means high quality and low quality pairs, instead total output is Y unmatched, which is 2QHL, which is 2QHS, which is noted which is mentioned in equation number 2. So here the output, here we the output we are going to get, it is Y matched output, which is QH square and QL square, and here we have the unmatched, or you can say mixed output. So the former is higher, means total output is higher if skill matching take place. Like the result, for example, the result hold for any number of skills, not just two. It's just for simplicity we assume this thing. So why we have this result in case of matching or unmatching? And the reason is institution, everyone wants to have a skill partner, but skill people want it more. The increment in output from switching a partner from L means low skill to H means high skill, from for an H person is like QH square, minus QHL is equal to QH and brackets QH minus QL, while the same amount for an L person is QL QH minus QL2 is equal to QL brackets QH minus QL, which is smaller since QH is greater than QL. Hence the H skill can always you can say outbid the low skill and have another H as partner. Same holds for the firm who look for workers. Like a firm with one H worker can always outbid, you can say pay higher wages to get another high skill worker than the firm starting with an L worker. So if more skill level, same result, top skill match together, then second best and so on, like until the least skills are matched to. Example that I have given you: orchestra, expensive restaurant, sports team. So these are the way how they are going to match the skills and mix the skills. So how it is for example going to how it has a connection with the development. Like think of the countries. A country which has high skill would attract more of them, while country who has low skilled workers is left with them, like it cannot attract or keep high skilled workers. Like you can think of the so-called brain drain process, migration of skilled individuals from less developed to the richer country. So this is basically the concept of mix and match. So here we have assumed that, here in this example we have assumed that QH high quality worker has the output level is 1 and quality is 1, and low quality have 1.5. Therefore the match group we get is 1 square plus here if we took the if we put the values in this equation, 1 square plus 1 over 2 square. So the end result is 1 square plus 1 by 2 square, or you can say 2 times 1 multiply by 1 by 2. So 1 by 1 4 1 and a quarter greater than 1 means in this case high skilled worker have higher output as compared to the low skilled worker. So here basically if how we get the value of 2 QH and QL, if you are confused how we solve the example, these two these two crosses each other, and in the end we have and these two with this two with this two, then in the end we have QH square plus QL square, or and when we are going to plus these two we have 2 QH and QL. So this is the basic idea regarding the mix and match and mix of high skill and low skill worker. So next we are going to discuss the here again here if again this things are similar, but the way to set it in the equation is little bit different. So here if you can in a general proof, if it is basically you can say a general proof, if like you can say QH is bigger than QL, then notice that if QH is bigger than you can say sorry if QH is bigger than QL square, then notice that QH minus QL high quality minus low quality square is certainly bigger than 0. Okay, and here you can also notice that this is not just exactly our previous statement where QH2 plus QL QH2 plus QL, or you can say 2Q H and QL, where we were comparing the match output with mix output. So this tells us for any QH or QL the match output what it tells us for any QH high quality or low quality, the match output is always bigger than the mix output. So match output is always brought the greater result as compared to the mix output. This is basically the conclusion of this general proof. means always the if we are compared the match output with the mix output, the result we attain from the match output is always greater than the mix output. So this is the basic mathematical proof you can say in order to explain the O-ring model. So now graphically we are going to explain this example, this concept. Like suppose that in a competitive economy with here we have the basically conclusion of this thing. So first we are going to discuss this in a graphical manner. So suppose that so now we are basically going to see that how the effect of quality on output is going to be same as the effect of quality on wages. This is highly non-linear. Here on the vertical axis we have output and wages, and on the horizontal axis we have the quality. And now we are going to see that how like the effect of quality is almost similar on output as well as on the wages, and the relationship between them is linear, means it is not constant. So if all the workers have have a quality level is 1, here if all the worker have the quality level is 1, then the output is going to be 10. Here you can see over here the output here is 10 if the quality is 1. So keep in your mind these equation, these examples where I have discussed with you that if there are n number of tasks and we assume that the quality of workers in O-ring model, it is assumed that it is in between 0 to 1, maximum 1 and lowest is 0. So here they assume that if the quality of worker is 1, then the output is 10, which is maximum. So maximum quality results in maximum output. So up here we have, at that point we have highest level of output when quality is 1. So notice that now quality falls a little bit, just you can say the point 0.9. okay, output falls in huge amount until less than 4. Here you can say there is a little bit decrease in quality level, but there is a huge change in output, or you can say in other words, because it has a similar effect on wages and output, so it has a huge effect on you can say on output when the quality falls a little bit, just the point 9. Output falls in a huge amount until less than 4. So we get a big drop in output compared to a fairly small drop in quality. And when quality drop to 0.5, over here you can say 0.50, which is you can say half, output is basically going to be 0. So what it says that if our differences in quality level across country, then one country may have much smaller GDP per capita than other country, even though the quality level is not that much different. So very small decrease in quality level of the worker creates a big decrease in wages and output. So you can see if we are going to compare the different country to country per capita, GDP per capita, so a little bit or you can say smaller difference in the quality level across the country, it affect hugely on the GDP per capita. So a very small decrease in quality level of the worker creates a big decrease or huge decrease in output or wages. So this is basically the concept regarding the if we are going to compare this around the world, generally at international level, without taking a case of any specific country, or as a whole, if we are going to say how quality affect the wages and output level. So now if we are going to take the case of any country at a national level, and here we on the horizontal axis we have talent, over here in first distribution, talent distribution, and in case of wage distribution we have wages over here. So these are the two distributions we have. So talent distribution and wage distribution. So here you are going to see that how skills or quality can affect the wages of the worker, because here we have took the output and wages over here. So why we have took the wages over here, so you can get the idea. Although here we have discussed that how quality impact the output level, but it also impact the wages. How it this slide or this comparison is going to answer this question. So now here we are going to took the scenario as at national level. Here we took the scenario as international level. So at a national level we can see this. There is a slightly different way. Like here we have the distribution. Suppose the talent distribution is something like this, okay, and most of the workers have the talent distribution level around 1. Here the talent distribution level is around 1. Here the value is like here in the center we have 1. So here 1 point something, and here we have 2. So we suppose that the most of the workers have the talent distribution level is around 1. When we map that into the wages distribution, taking into account the fact that we have O-ring production function, what we get is here big right tail. Here we have the big right tail of wages. Here wages are much more unequal than talent. So a fairly equal distribution of talent. Here the distribution, like the talent is around 1, but here this tail shows that huge unequal distribution. Like when we map that in the O-ring model, turns into a equal distribution of wages. So like so in a particular, notice that over here, like in point, if we are going to take the case of talent 2, over here there is hardly anybody that has talent level which is 2 or greater than 2. Very few people over here that have the talent level around 2 or more than 2, because majority have the talent level around 1. So now here the comparison is very important. You have to understand this thing over here. Here in this case only few people have the talent which is 2 or hardly more than 2, greater than 2. So very few people in this economy has talent level which is 2 or greater than 2, and yet wages, a large fraction of wages are going to the pockets of the people who have the talent level around 2. You can see over here most of the wages are going to the in the pockets of the people who have the talent level more than 2 or 2. So this shows us how a O-ring model magnifies the distribution of talent, turning into a much more or equal distribution of wages. So like those people have the talent level above 2. These people are very few, but the wages they got is more quite high as compared to the people who have the talent around 1, and majority of the people fall under this category, but very few people fall under the category of 2 or more than 2, and part of these people that are in the distribution, these people are very few, and the most of the high level of wages acquired by these people. So this is basically the concept of O-ring model that magnifies the distribution of talent, turning into a much more or equal distribution of wages. So this is the basic idea. So conclusion, like in a competitive economy, if we are going to do the conclusion of O-ring model, so in a competitive economy with high quality matching, higher output means, if high quality matching, higher output means higher wages. Okay, so if there is a high quality, means in return there would be a higher wages and higher output. So this is the so now it is not hard to show that in a competitive economy with quality matching, higher output is going to means that higher wages. So this is the first. And then we have discussed that the effect of quality on output wages is non-linear. So this is basically the non-linear effect. The change is not constant, means here the around 1% people acquiring the almost same, but when we are move over here 2 or more than 2, the wages are quite different from this distribution, where the most of the people are around and their talent level is around 1, and the wages they acquired is different than the people who has the quality level is more than 2. That's why we call that it has the non-linear relationship. Here again it has the non-linear change in the output, because quality and output has the non-linear relationship, or you can say quality and wages has the non-linear relationship, because the change is not constant. There is a certain jumps in the output level when there is a minute change in the quality level of the worker. So that's why we said that it has the wages and you can say output has the non-linear relationship with the output. Linear means constant, or non-linear means there are changes, means the relationship between two variables is not constant. And next, worker performing the same task earn high wages in a high skill firms compared to the low skill firm. Just take the example of iPhone and take any company in Pakistan like Q Mobile and any other. So the iPhone always try to hire those people that have the higher quality. Even janitors, they try to they pay a lot to their janitor as well, because in each task they take care of the quality work. So due to this reason, the high performing firms try to hire the high skilled workers, because they want to maintain the quality of each component of or each element of their production process. So due to this reason, the high quality firms always try to take care the try to hire the high level of workers. So due to this reason, greater incentive to invest in skill or you can say quality, the more high quality workers are in any country's economy. You can workers performing the same task earn higher wages in high skill firms than in a low skill firms. So as I have said earlier that here we have an example like the highest quality secretaries will work with the high quality CEOs, simply because of the mistake of one of those secretaries. It is going to be much more damaging when the works for high quality CEO as compared to the low quality CEO. So as I have said, Apple firm always try to hire the best programmer and the best designer and also the best janitors, and will pay the most. Achha. Oh, now the same idea is applied the economy as a whole. High quality workers are paid more when there are more high quality workers to work with. Talent likes to work with other talent. There is multiplying effect. Like here, the more talented people are, higher quality worker. Like if someone is more talented, he would like to have high quality worker. He should be surrounded by the high quality worker. With the more your earning are going to be, means if in a firm I'm surrounding by the more and more talented worker, that means that firm is able to earn a lot. That's why that firm is able to hire more talented worker. That means alternatively you are going to your earning are going to be high. So in an ORING model, capital also wants to work with the high quality worker. That is what it means that I have explained over here. So last is So greater incentives to invest in skill quality. The more high quality workers are already in your economy, like if there is a lot of high quality worker around it pays you to invest in the like being in a trying to hire a high quality workers. Similarly, if there is a lot of low quality workers around you, it does not pay you like high quality workers. So if the like a person with a high quality surrounded by a low quality worker, then that person is not going to be unallowed. Just take the case of developing countries, and there is a difference. If a person has a high quality skills and he she is working in the developing countries, his her pays are much lower than the worker who worked in the developed country and doing the same job and same work. So the earner may not want to due to this reason, the earner may not want to invest on education and building up their skills, because the skills he she is going to acquire are won't pay him or her very much. When they don't want those people to work on their team, and when they can't combine with other high quality people, they can't get the high payoff which comes with multiplying high quality by high quality. High quality workers are able to attain the high quality equilibrium. On the vice versa, if we are going to take the example of low quality workers, things are going to be opposite. So in an ORing model, capital also wants to work with high quality workers. Means capital like there is a attraction between capital and high quality workers. So in this scenario, best worker with most expensive machine. Means if they are high quality worker, that means they are working on a high quality or expensive machines. And implication of this is like poor country will have more workers in less capital intensive environment. Like primary production, most of the countries that uses more worker and less capital, and they are less capital intensive. That means they are producing primary products. For example, if the case of agriculture sector, so capital is going to flow away. The capital is going to flows away from which countries that have low skilled workers, and it wants to go to the countries that has high skilled worker. It means that you have low income and wages in low skilled workers country. Similarly, poor countries will have more worker in production that is simpler, requires simpler tasks. So this is basically the basic idea of the solo growth model, that if you are working in a high quality firm, that means that firm is trying to hire the high quality workers, because they want each and every task should be up to date and result efficient. The each and every task, the performance of each and every task is high quality or most efficient, as each and every task is comparable. Each task is have the positive effect on another task when we are going to multiply this task in the end. So if on the other hand, if a firm is low quality firms, that firm is going to hire the low quality workers. So according to that's why they said a greater incentive to invest in skills and quality is more high quality workers are in country's economy. Means if like capital attracts the high quality workers. So if and less capital intensive environment attract low quality workers. So this is the due to this reason, the high quality firms or high quality countries have the are more capital intensive as compared to the developing countries, where the most of the system is based on the more workers and less capital intensive environment, and they also have the lower quality worker as compared to the developed country. So overall, if we are going to see this development model concept in terms of countries performance or GDP. So yes, in case of developed countries, they have more they have high quality workers. That's why we took the example of brain drain, where in case of developing country, high quality worker move to the developed countries, where they are able to get the higher wages and better facilities as compared to the lower as compared to stay in their home country, where they though they have the high quality, but due to most of the workers have the low quality level, they are not being able to get the higher level of wages, because they are surrounded by the low quality workers. So that's why the firms over there are also small and low quality. Due to this reason, they are not being able to pay them up to their level. So that's why in the developing countries, you can see most of the people that have the high quality or high skill, they move to the developed country if they get the chance, because on that countries these countries paid them well, and they facilitated by their skills. So that's why high the capital intensive country attracts the high quality workers, and in case of poor countries, less capital intensive countries basically catches the low quality workers, you can say. So this is basically the concept of O-ring model, and this is the basically the end of this model over here. So next we are going to this is the end of our basically this is the last contemporary model that we have discussed in our course. Now we are moved to the next chapter, which is based on the poverty and concepts like urban and rural poverty. So that's it.